This video will illustrate the feature in Dylomo software known as an absolute relationship. Dylomo comes with two types of relationships, absolute relationships and contributing relationships. An absolute relationship, which is shown in a red arrow, means that an element is absolutely required for the element that it is linked to. For example, let's take this youth clinic logic model. In the youth clinic, public health nurses distribute free birth control pills to youth. In order to be able to distribute free birth control pills, they have to have birth control pills to distribute. So we consider this an absolute relationship, as the birth control pills are absolutely required for the activity of distribute free birth control pills to happen. The black arrows represent contributing relationships. So this means that the element contributes to the other element that it's linked to, but it's not absolutely required. For example, down here we have an input of clinic facilities linked to the activity of providing tests for sexually transmitted diseases. So since this is the location where we intend to have this activity happen, it contributes, but we could do it with a different location, so it's not absolutely required. The reason that this is programmed into Dylomo is to allow us to examine what would happen if we took something out of our program that was absolutely required. And the way we do this is we make sure that hover mode is enabled, and before we hover over the element, we hold down Shift. So normally when you hover over an element like this, you can see that all the elements, the inputs, the activity, the output, and in this case, two outcomes, are shown by Dylomo with everything else being grayed out in the background. This just allows us to focus on the line of logic that we're interested in. However, if you want to see the effect of the absolute relationship, before you hover, hold down the Shift button. When you hover, you will only see those things that are linked through absolute relationships. So you can see here that we now see one input, one activity, one output, and only one outcome. Because when we weren't using the Shift button, we saw that that first outcome led to another one, but it wasn't an absolute relationship. So we can do this with other absolute relationships we have on this logic model. So if I were to hold down the Shift key and hover over this input, we can see we're only seeing those things linked by red arrows. So this has been a demonstration of the absolute relationship function of Dylomo. Please check it out at dylomo.com.